If you're a history buff, then you need to imagine this. Japan ruling India after World War II. Imagine the Japanese soldiers marching through the streets of Indian cities, the Japanese flag waving over iconic landmarks like the Red Fort in Delhi or the Gateway of India in Mumbai. The very thought is both intriguing and unsettling. Let's dive into this alternate reality. Picture a world where the Axis powers emerged victorious and Japan extended its empire to the Indian subcontinent. After their victory, Japan established control over vast regions, including India. The Japanese military, known for its discipline and strict governance, would have quickly moved to establish order and control. Japan's rule in India would have significantly altered the political and cultural landscape. The rich tapestry of Indian culture, with its myriad languages, religions, and traditions, would face a new and dominant influence. Japan's Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere aimed to dominate Asia, promoting Japanese culture and suppressing local traditions. This policy would be rigorously implemented in India, with Japanese language and customs being enforced in schools and public life. In India, this could mean strict military governance and economic exploitation. The Japanese military would likely impose martial law, curfews, and strict regulations on the local population. Traditional Indian culture might be overshadowed by Japanese customs, festivals, traditional attire, and even cuisine could be influenced or replaced by Japanese counterparts. However, resistance and underground movements would likely persist, keeping the spirit of Indian independence alive. Secret meetings, covert operations, and guerrilla warfare would become common as Indians fought to reclaim their homeland. On the global stage, the Axis victory would have reshaped international relations. The balance of power would shift dramatically, with the Axis powers dictating terms to the rest of the world. Germany controlling Europe and parts of America, Japan ruling Asia, and a world divided by these powers would lead to a tense, unstable peace. Alliances would shift. Countries that were once allies might find themselves on opposite sides of the new global order. Countries like the US and UK, defeated but not destroyed, might form a new coalition against Axis dominance, potentially leading to a prolonged Cold War or another global conflict. The world would be in a constant state of tension, with the threat of war looming large. Economically, Japan would exploit India's resources, focusing on industrial output to fuel its war machine and regional control efforts. India's rich natural resources, including minerals, agricultural products, and labor, would be redirected to serve Japanese interests. This exploitation would impact India's growth and development for decades. The local economy would suffer, with resources being drained and industries being repurposed for Japanese needs. The social dynamics within India would also change. The Japanese rulers would likely implement policies that favored their own people, creating a new social hierarchy. A hierarchical system placing Japanese at the top could create deep social divides, with native Indians facing discrimination and harsh policies. This would lead to increased tensions and resentment among the local population. But history shows us that such oppression often fuels the fire of resistance. The Indian spirit of rebellion, which had already been kindled during the British rule, would burn even brighter under Japanese oppression. India's rich history of rebellion suggests that Japanese rule would not go unchallenged. Leaders like Subhas Chandra Bose, who had already sought Japanese support for Indian independence, might find new allies and strategies to fight against the occupiers. Thankfully, history took a different path. The actual events of World War II led to the defeat of the Axis powers and the eventual independence of many colonized nations. India gained independence in 1947, paving the way for a democratic and diverse nation. The struggles and sacrifices of countless freedom fighters culminated in a momentous victory for the Indian people. But it's fascinating to ponder the what-ifs of our past. These alternate histories remind us of the delicate balance of events that shape our world. For more intriguing historical scenarios and their impacts, subscribe to our channel. Dive into the endless possibilities of what could have been and explore the fascinating twists and turns of history with us.